Coverage you can count on. Now your First Warn 5 forecast with meteorologist Bryan Bachman.
Welcome back, everybody. Very good Saturday evening to you. Hope it's been a good Saturday so far. Weather-wise, we've had a little bit of a mixed bag out there today. Some of us haven't seen any rain. Others got some pretty good soaking downpours early today. We've seen the temperatures all over the place. So let's see if we can kind of put it all into place for you and explain where everything is headed. Looking at your First Warn 5 pinpoint Doppler radar tonight, you can see most of us dry at this hour. There are a few exceptions. We're keeping an eye on that little batch of showers and thunderstorms you see off to the west coming in off the shores of Lake Michigan. That likely a player in our weather later on this evening. As for right now, just a couple of isolated pockets of sprinkles, most of which are confined across parts of in fact, of Genesee County. You can see right in the vicinity of Flint up toward about Mount Morris, Flushing as well, seeing a couple of light sprinkles. Those extend to the east over into parts of Lapeer County, around Elba, Davison. You're included in that as well, but these likely just going to be continuing on their way out of the picture and not causing too many headaches out there, to say the least. Live look outside right now. Here's a look at things over Saginaw, where those clouds really have been pretty persistent all day long, and that's kept the temperatures in check for the most part. Current temperature back down to 73 here in the Tri-Cities. Dew points come up a little bit with that cold frontal passage, but overall doesn't feel too oppressive outside. Next stop brings us to Bay City. Same temperature at 73 degrees. Not too bad of an evening shaping up there on the riverfront. And to Flint we go, where the temperature is milder, where the sun has been a little bit more prevalent today. Current temperature there, 79 degrees along I-75. Temperatures elsewhere, as I've kind of mentioned here, a little bit of a mixed bag, kind of all over the place. Flint, as we mentioned, you're at 79 degrees, mid-70s back toward Owasso and Alma. Mount Pleasant, though, cooler at 69 degrees, but then you head just a little bit farther north, and we're back into the low 70s across Houghton Lake, Oscoda as well, and that's true also into the thumb for Port Hope and Bad Axe. Looking at your First Warn 5 sky tracker, here's that band as it sunk southeastward across the region this morning. You can see, at least at the beginning of the loop here, pretty well organized, some very well-defined pockets of heavy rain. But as it tended to start to slide southward, it essentially kind of broke up and lost a good amount of its moisture. So as it swung into the Tri-Cities, got little more than a very brief light rain, while some heavier showers persisted into parts of the thumb. This all part of this area of low pressure, which is actually well to our north and east, but it pulled this kind of prevailing cold frontal boundary down southward through the region, and that will be a player for at least the next couple of hours as far as our weather is concerned before we start to get everything out of the picture and start to see some improvement in the forecast. So here it is on your First Warn 5 hour-by-hour forecast. We'll start you off at about midnight. You can see by about that point, it looks like most of the showers that may be even left at that point, mostly confined to about Shiawassee and Genesee counties, maybe up to about Lapeer as well, but those quickly sliding southward out of the mix. And then we're off and running to a nice Sunday, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, partly to mostly sunny conditions taking over. And throughout the course of the day on our Sunday, the trend will be for decreasing clouds as high pressure starts to slowly build back into the mix. And that's going to give us a couple of days worth of dry weather. As you can see, as far out as Monday at 8 p.m., we're still dry, rain-free, and plenty of sunshine too. So let's take a look at how your microcast shapes up here along I-75 for tomorrow. Not a bad day, but certainly not quite meeting full summer standards. We're in the middle to upper 70s tomorrow from Saginaw to Frankenmuth, 76 for both Clio and Grand Blanc under a decreasingly cloudy sky. Along I-69, essentially the same, middle to upper 70s, 77 for you in Flint, 76 in Lapeer, and farther to the north around M55, shapes up like this. Certainly noticeably cooler, particularly in Harrisville. High tomorrow expected only to be about 68 degrees. And then it's a very slow trend back towards some warmer weather. You can see by the time we get to next weekend, we might even start to feel like true summer.